Welcome to C Programming, and this is Kumar Swami Dapa from SRRS Government Polytechnic College, Srisila. And today we are going to learn about the keywords and procedure how to execute the C program. Okay, so the learning outcomes of today's session. So after completion of this session, a student will able to know what is a keyword and what are the list of keywords that are available in C programming, and how to compile and execute the C program. Okay, then several list of compilers that are available, and some of the IDEs which are used to write and execute C programs. Okay, so here the C keywords includes keywords are the words whose meaning has already been explained to the C compiler. So keywords are nothing but the words whose meaning has already been explained to the C compiler. So in some another case, we are calling these keywords are the reserved words. Keywords are the reserved words. Okay. So in both the cases, so uh, reserved word means the words which are having they are having some specific meaning, and they are not used in other purposes. Okay, so here the meaning has already been explained means, so while developing the C language, the Dennis Rich, who is the uh, inventor of this C programming language, has listed some of the words with the meanings. Okay, so those words are we are simply calling it as keywords. Okay, so we have 32 keywords in C programming. Okay, and these keywords are used for special purposes. While writing the programs, we are generally using these keywords, so these are having some special meaning. Okay, so here the keyword cannot be used as a variable names, because if we do so, we are trying to assign a new meaning to the keywords, so which is not allowed by the compiler or computer. Okay, so means, for example, here int is one keyword, int is one keyword, void is another keyword. So if we are using this int or void as a variable name, so as I already told you, the variables are nothing but the values which can vary during the execution of the program. Okay, so in the last class we already discussed about the constants and variables that are available in C programming, right? So in that discussion, I told you that the definition of constants and variables. Okay, so the constants are the values which cannot be changed during the execution of the program. And coming to the variables, variables are the values, or variables are the uh, names which are given to the memory locations. Okay, variable names are the names of the memory location, and the value of these variables are changed during the execution of the program. Okay, so but coming to the keywords, the keyword meanings are already defined in the compiler. Okay, so we are not supposed to change the meaning of a keyword. We are not supposed to change the meaning of the keyword. We are not supposed to change the value of the keyword simply. Okay, means, so we cannot use those keywords as variables in our program. Okay, so with this point, what I am conclude here is you cannot use any keyword as a variable name. So cannot use the keywords as variable names. Okay, and some of C compilers allow you to construct variable names that exactly resembles the keywords. Okay, so if you still you want to use, so then that name of that variables must be in combination with some other words along with the keywords are permitted in some compilers, but so it is strictly recommended from my side or from the developer side, cannot use the keywords as a variable name. Okay, for example, here int a. So int a means a is a key variable name of integer type. Here int is a keyword, a is not a keyword. But int void means int is a keyword, void is also a keyword. So these are not acceptable. They are not permittable. Okay. So int a is acceptable. Okay. So now coming to the next slide. So here, so it would be safer not to mix up the variable names and the keywords. So it is better not to mix the variable names and the keywords. Okay, and there are 32 keywords available in C program. There are 32 keywords available in C programming. Okay, so these are the keywords that are available in C program. Okay, auto, break, case, char, constant, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, extern, float, for, go to, if, int, long, register, return, short, signed, size of, static, struct, switch, typedef, union, unsigned, void, volatile, and while. Okay, so these are the keywords. So total 32 keywords are available in C program. Okay, so we have 32 keywords. Now so in the last session we have already discussed about variables, right? So that variables are categorized into several types depending on the number of types of constants that C language supports, right? So in that case we have discussed about the integer variables, right? Fractional variables, character variables. Okay, so that can be done with the help of these keywords. Here int is a keyword we are using to define integer type variables. Okay, and next long is also a keyword we are using to define a long type. So this long is along with int, or we are using long int to reserve to handle with large and large sized numbers. Okay, so in the similar way we have short, right? Short is here, short, long, int, char, float, double is there, where is it? Double, yes, double. So these are the keywords, and signed, unsigned is also there, signed, unsigned. So these are the keywords we are using while handling with different kinds of data, different data types. If you are while handling with the different data types in C programming, so we are using these keywords. Okay, int, long int, long, short, and so these are the keywords we are using to handle with integers, numbers. So this double and float. Where is float? So here float. So these keywords are we are using to handle with fractional values, and carry is the keyword we are using to handle with the characters, right? And this signed and unsigned, signed and unsigned keywords we are using generally while handling with the numbers. So if the numbers are negative or positive numbers, if you want to handle with uh, positive as well as negative numbers, so you can use this signed. Okay, so we are the C compiler will count the sign of the data or sign of the numbers. Unsigned means, so irrespective of the sign whether it is positive or negative, so we are handling. So for example, unsigned int means, so that is a integer data, so that can accommodate all the positive numbers only, so they cannot accommodate negative numbers. Okay, like that. And uh, so in the further classes, we are going to discuss about several loops available in C programming. Okay, so at that time, we are going to discuss about this for, while, so while, and do while. Okay, so do while. So these for, do, and while keywords we are using uh, in loop section, in the loops. Okay, so these are the keywords, they are reserved for the purpose of to handle the loops. Okay, and coming to the control statements, control statements are like if else, switch case. So at that time we are going to use the keywords like so this switch, case, break, and default, if, and then else. Okay, so these are the keywords we are using while handling with the control statements, so that also can be discussed in the further classes, in the further sessions. Okay, and so this constant, so constant is also a keyword while handling with the data if there are any constant values. So for example, pi is a pi value is always 3.0 some so 22 by 7, right? So something like a 3.14 or something like. So these values are cannot be changeable, and these are fixed values. Okay, so if in your program if you are want to handle with any kind of constant, so then there you can use this constant keyword. Okay, constant keyword. Okay, and coming to this continue, so continue along with this break, continue along with this break we are using while in loops. So generally we are using in the loops to continue with the loop or to exit from the loop based on occurrence of certain condition. Okay, and this go to, so this go to generally we are using with labelings. Okay, so nowadays in the C program we are not using this go to statement. Okay, so this go to keyword generally programmers are not preferred to use. Okay, so and coming to this struct, union. Okay, so struct, union are the two keywords generally we are using to handle with the complex type data structures. So with the help of struct and union keywords, so we can able to create our own data structures in C programming. Okay, so this plays a vital role in C programming. Okay, so that can be discussed in the further session. Okay, so we have a separate session with structures and one separate session with unions. So at that time we are going to look at these keywords in detail. Okay, and then here size of a keyword is there. So this size of keyword generally is one type of operator in C programming. So we are using this size of a keyword to know the number of bytes allocated for a particular expression or for a particular variable. Okay, so we are using this size of operator to know the number of bytes allocated for a particular expression. Okay, so that can be discussed, the size of operator keyword can be discussed in the upcoming session, where we are discussing about the several operators that are available in C programming. Okay, and coming to this static, volatile, and auto. So these are the special keywords. So while handling with the data with a certain properties, like the values that cannot be changeable, static. Okay, so at that in that cases we are going to use this static, volatile, and auto are the two special keywords. Okay, so coming to the void is the return type. Generally we are using along with the function. If any function that function return type is void, means so it is doesn't return anything to the compiler. Okay, so this register is also some kind of memory to handle while handling with the data. So it can able to store only one bit of uh, data. Okay, so this enum and external keywords are generally we are using to define our own data types, some special data. If you want to handle with your own kind of data, then you can use enum to create your own data. Okay, so return is the keyword generally we are using to move switch between the modules or functions in the program execution process. Okay, so this is about some little bit introduction about these keywords that are available in C programming. Okay, so after completion of the session, we are going to execute some program, some one or two C programs. So at that time we are try to use as many number of keywords as possible in that particular program, so that you can easily understand where and how we are using these keywords. Okay, so coming to the um, next session, so that is compilation and execution of C programming. Okay, so in the compilation process, so while writing the C program, so after writing the C program, we are directly not getting any output, or we are not getting any feedback from the computer. Okay, so what we have to do is, so after writing the C program, so we need to compile that program. Then after successful compilation, we need to execute that program. Then only we are getting the output for that particular program. Okay, so here the compilation process main. So simply now I am telling in the simple word, we are using this compilation process to check whether uh, any errors are present, any syntactical errors are present in your program that you have written. Okay, so generally we are using this compilation process to check whether there are any errors, syntactical errors that are present in your code. Okay, so in the execution process, we are going to execute the code, and means we are going to generate the output for the program which we have written. Okay, so now let us discuss about this compilation and execution process. Okay, so here once you have written the program, you need to type it and instruct the machine to execute it. Okay, so first of all you have to write the program. For writing the program, you need to type with the help of keyboard. Then after that, after writing the program, so you need to instruct the machine to execute it. Okay, so that can be done with the help of several commands that are we are going to discuss in the further slides. Okay, Now to type your C program you need another program called editor. So we need an editor software, a program. There we can able to write our C program. For example, generally we are using the most popular editor in Windows are C, this Notepad. So Notepad are the generally we are using Notepad are the popular editor in Windows. We are using to create text files or some other programs. Okay, so we can use that one also here. Okay, so that can be discussed later. So once the program has been typed with the help of some any one of the editor software, then it needs to be converted to machine language. So whatever the program we have typed, that can be in a high level language. So in the earlier classes, I already told you that C program is a high level, C is a high level programming language. So high level programming language in the sense the user is can able to read and can understandable what is happening in that particular program. Okay, so uh, human readable form means high level language. So that high level language must be converted into machine level language. So because the machines can understand only machine language only. Okay, so here the computer can understand only machine language. Okay, so we are using the compiler to convert this high level language or whatever the program we are typed into machine language. So before the machine can execute it, so execution can be done in the at machine level. Okay, so the C program execution can be done at machine level, but the machine can understand only zeros and ones. So that is machine language, or simply we can say binary language. Okay, so this machine language we are unable to write the programs in machine language with the help of zeros and ones. So that's why we are writing the program in C, high level language, and that high level language is converted into machine language. Then that machine language can be executable by the machines. Then we are getting the output. Okay, so to carry out this conversion, we need another program called compiler. So we have another program called compiler. So this compiler, what it do? It converts the high level language to machine language. High level language to machine language. Okay. So till now we have discussed about these two programs or softwares. One is editor and another is compiler. So we are using editor to write or type the programs. We are using compilers to convert the written program into machine language. Okay, then we have several. So here, uh, if you want to convert that high level language into machine language, so we need compiler software. So there are several vendors provides an integrated development environment. So IDEs which consisting of editor as well as the compiler. Okay, so some of the software vendors companies, so they are providing IDEs. IDE stands for integrated development environment. So these IDEs includes, so this IDE software include the editor along with the compiler. So with the help of this single software only we can edit the programs, or we can write the program new programs, and we can able to compile the program. Okay, and such IDs are available in the market targeted towards different operating systems. Okay, so these IDs are designed for different operating system, like for Windows, Mac, Unix or Linux. Okay, like that. For those operating systems, so we have different IDs are there. Okay, and next so here are the several example software that are available. So here Turbo C++ and Microsoft C are the most popular compilers that works under MS-DOS. Okay, so MS-DOS is an operating system, right? So in most of the Windows softwares, so it is inbuilt. Okay, so you can use in your Windows operating system any one of these software. Okay, and coming to this Visual C++ and Borland C++, these are the compilers that works under Windows. Okay, and GCC compiler is a software that works under Linux operating system. Okay, so these are the examples of several compiler programs or IDEs. Okay, and here one thing you note that the Turbo C++ compiler and the Microsoft C++ and the Borland C++ softwares are also contain a C compiler bundled with them. Okay, so if you are beginner, you would be better off using a simple compiler like Turbo C or Turbo C++. Okay, so if you are new to the programming, or you are new to the learner of C programming, so it is better to use this Turbo C or Turbo C++ compiler only. Okay, so it is somewhat familiar with the beginners. Okay, so what we have discussed here, so these are the different softwares that are available to develop to execute the C programs, right? Turbo C, Turbo C++, Microsoft C, and Visual C++, and then Borland C++. Okay, so these are the several softwares which are related to Windows operating system, and the GCC compiler which is related to Linux operating system. Okay, now once you have mastered the language, once you have mastered the C language, the elements you can then switch over more sophisticated compilers like Visual C++ under Windows or GCC under Linux. Okay, so once you have command over or knowledge over the C language, then you can switch from Turbo C or C++ to Visual C++ on Windows under GCC in Linux. So these are the somewhat the sophisticated compilers. Okay, now let us assume that you are using Turbo C or Turbo C++ compiler here. Then here are the steps that you need to follow to how to compile and execute your first C program. Okay, so now I am assuming that you are using Turbo C or Turbo C++ compiler. Then I am going to explain several steps, procedural steps that are related to program compilation and execution process in Turbo C or C++ software. Okay, now uh, first of all, start the compiler at C prompt. Okay, so how you can able to start the compiler means, so there is a file with the name tc.exe. Okay, so this is present in generally the place where you kept this tc software. Okay, so for example in C drive, so there is a folder with the name tc. Under that we have a bin directory. Okay, so in the bin directory you are going to find this tc.exe. So open this tc.exe either directly or with the help of some command prompt, right? So this is the way we can start the compiler. Open the compiler. Okay, so after opening the compiler, a menu will be displayed. Okay, so under that you can select the new option from the file menu. Okay, then type the program, whatever the program you want, then save the program by using F2 key. So F2 is the functional key under the. Okay, so you can press the F2 key to save the file, or you can go to the file menu and click on the save button or save as button to save the file. Okay, by giving the proper name for your program. Okay, so you must give the proper name for your program, and the program name must have an extension .c. .c file name .c. So here star means any name, so that is the given to your program, and that name ended with a .c, an extension. So If any name that is ended with .c means it is a C program. Okay. So while giving the name of the name for the C programs, so you need to consider several things like so don't use any keywords as a names. Okay, don't use any keywords as a name. And so if you want to save the file with more than one words, try to use the underscore. Try to use the underscore symbol instead of giving spaces. Okay, so that can be discussed in further slides. Okay, so now after saving the C program, press this Control F9 to compile and execute the program. Okay, so if you want to compile the program, then type the Alt plus F9. Alt plus F9. So Alt plus F9. So this Alt F9 can only compile the program. If you want to compile and execute the program, then press this Control F9. Okay, so we are using compilation process to know the syntactical errors that are available in the program which we are typed. And if you want to execute the program, just press this Control F9. Okay, and use this Alt plus F5 to view the output that is generated by your program. So press Alt and F5 key, F5 functional key to view the output of your program. Okay, so note that on compiling the program, its mission language equivalent is stored as an exe file on the disk. So after compilation, after compiling the program, its mission language equivalent code is stored with the same file name but and having an extension exe. Okay, so for example, if you are saving program1.c, then after compilation it is going to generate program1.exe. So this is a, so if you open this, so it is a executable file. So it contains the code which is in zeros and ones. Okay, so the file is called an executable file. Sorry. So after compilation, your program is converted to mission language code, and a new file with the same program name is created in your storage device. Okay, with an extension .exe. Okay, so if you copy this file, this executable file to another machine, we can execute it there without being required to recompile it. So if you are in a position uh, to execute the executable file that is generated .exe file that is generated after compilation of your program, so you can copy that program into some another device, some another computer, and try to open that. So it is directly generating the output of your program, so no need to compile again in that particular machine. Okay, so here the recompilation is not needed to execute the same program in different machines. Okay, different machine. So in fact, the other machines need not even have to have a compiler to be able to execute the file. So for example, you are in this computer A, and we have another computer, so that is B. Okay, so in computer A, you sit and write the C program and save that program. Okay, and execute that program. So you are getting an output. So and you are copying this executable file into mission B, computer B, and you can also get the same output. And one thing you need to remember, here we have a software called Turbo C in computer A. So Turbo C is a software where we can compile the C programs and execute. So for example, in computer B, we don't have any compiler to compile the C programs. So even though this mission B won't have any compiler software, so it can able to execute these executable files and generate the program output. Okay. So if, here is a caution. If you are run this program in Turbo C++ compiler, you may get an error the function should printf should have a prototype. So you must know what is this, the function should have a prototype. So to get rid of this error, perform the following steps and then recompile the program. So what you need to do is, so go to the options menu and then select a compiler or C++ options. In the dialog box that pop up, select CPP always. Select CPP always and use C++ compiler option. Again, go to options menu and then select environment or editor. Under editor, then make sure that the default extension is C rather than CPP. If you have CPP, then always you get this function printf should have a prototype, function scanf should have a prototype, like error messages are there. Why? Because this printf and scanf definitions are available in stdio.h header file. So you need to include that header file every time to get out of this error messages, or you can change this extension of file with default extension is C rather than this CPP. Then no need to write the include these header files like hash include stdio.h. Okay, so this is about today's session. Now now I am going trying to execute one simple C program. Okay, and I'm going to give some introduction, the procedure which we have already discussed can be shown in practically. Okay, so now in my system in C drive we have a turbo C4 compiler is there, so I am opening that compiler. Okay, so I already told you, right? So this so in the TC folder we have bin. So in the bin we have a TC software is there. So this is tc.exe. So try to open that. So here my PC is not compatible with that software. Okay, so if you are using the earlier versions of Windows 8, means Windows 7 or Windows XP, Windows uh, Vista, so you can able to open this directly. Okay, so here I have an application with the name Turbo C++ editor. Okay, now so after opening the tc.exe you will get this kind of a window with menu, file, editor, search, run, compile, debug, project, options, windows, and help. Okay, so here is an option. Okay, so we have different options are there here. Okay, so these are the directories where this TC software is available. Okay, now so I'm going to the file and click on the new. So a new uh, file will be opened. So here you can type your code. For example, I'm writing void main. So main is the starting point of C program. Printf. Welcome to C programming. Right. So after typing the program, so you need to compile that program and execute that program. So here execution are called run. So running the program is nothing but the execution of executing the program. Okay, so for example I am compiling the program by pressing alt F9. So after pressing the alt F9, a compilation after it the C compiler will perform the compilation operation. Then after performing the compilation operation, it is going to display a message with the file name. So uh, uh, the no name data, no name 00.cpp is the file name, and lines compile here, total lines compile is 3 lines. Okay, and 0 warnings are present and 1 error is present. Okay, so like this after compilation the compiler is able to show how many lines are compiled and how many errors are there and how many warnings are there. So like that messages are displayed. So and it is blinking and a message, press any key, press any key. So what you need to do is you can press any key on the keyboard. So after pressing the keyboard, it is going to display a message here on which line, third line. Okay, so error, the file name and the line number, colon, the error message, function printer should have a prototype, so that we have already discussed. So here, so and press enter one more time, so it is going to place the cursor where that particular line, line number 3 is available. Okay, so here is the right. So this can be avoided by including the hash include stdio.h, hash include stdio.h. Again I am pressing the compilation. Now it is showing that 0 errors are there. So in the compilation process it is going to find the syntactical errors. For example, here I am erasing the semicolon and I am trying to compile the program. It is getting two errors. So statement missing semicolon. So sometimes if you get this kind of message, statement missing semicolon error messages, and highlighting the line, so try to check in that particular line is there any necessity to place the semicolon. If it is not, then try to go to the previous line. So here semicolon is there. So like this you can compile and execute the program. So after execution, so you can view the output by pressing alt F5. Welcome to C programming. Okay, so in this way you can type the program and compile and execute the program. So you can save the file with the help of this save or save as options that are available under file menu, or you can simply hit the F2. Okay, so after hitting the F2, so you need to give the name of the file. Okay, so I'm changing the no name to first C program dot C. So here dot C, I already told you dot C is an extension given to the C programs. Okay, so now I am compiling the program and executing the program and viewing the output. So it is showing the output one more time. So the already printed output is there and newly printed output welcome to C programming is also there. So in this way you can compile and execute the program. Okay, so if you want to execute the program line by line, so you can use this F7 functional key. So after hitting the F7, main is highlighted with some color, right, blue color, like something like other than blue, right. So again press the F7. So in this way you can execute the program any number of times. Okay, so you can view the output here. So those many number of times it is generating welcome to C programming as an output. Okay, so right, so this is about the program creation and execution. So here, so this is the editor where we can type our own programs, our own C programs. After typing the C program, try to save with an extension .c, and after saving you can perform the compilation process by hitting the alt F9, or you can simply click on this compile and select the under the compile menu, click on this compile. So it is compiled. So after that you can execute the program by pressing this selecting this run menu and click on the run. So it is going to execute the program, or you can hit alt F9 and control F9 for compilation and execution process. Okay, so now I am quitting by pressing this uh, quit button, alt X. Okay, so in this way you can create and um, execute any number of programs. Okay, so what we have discussed till now, so we have discussed what is meant by a keyword, and several keywords that are available in C programming, right? So and then we are discussed about the several softwares that are available, IDEs or compilers, software programs that are available to write and execute the C program, and we have already discussed about the editor application and compiler application, right? And then we have discussed the several procedural steps that are available to uh, compile and execute the C program, right? Okay, so now one more time I am trying to open the compiler. So now at this time I'm trying to write one more C program by using several keywords. So here whatever the program you have written, so in that program, if any word that is highlighted with a white color means it is a keyword. So here white is a keyword. So wide is a keyword. So you can use the mouse right click button, press on the wide, so you are going to get some information about that keyword. So wide type, so wide is an empty data type. When user has a function return type, wide means that function doesn't return a value. So here wide hello and printf. So we found in a function heading, wide means the function does not take any parameters. Okay, so like this, press the escape key to come back to the uh, previous menu. So now I am trying to write a new program. Okay, so I am trying to use several keywords. So wide main, so wide is one keyword. Okay, enter a. So here a is a variable of integer type, it is one keyword. Okay, printf memory allocated for integer variable is size of, right? So what we need to do is simply put this hash include stdio.h and compile the program and execute the program. So you are getting the output by pressing the alt F5. The memory allocated for integer variable is 2 bytes. Okay, so 2 bytes. So you can the count value is written, the number value written is in terms of bytes only. If you want to display that explicitly, you can write bytes. Okay, now uh, compile the program and execute the program, press the alt F5. So memory allocated for integer variable is 2 bytes. Okay, so like this. So here I am using void one keyword, int is one keyword. So I want to know something about this size of is another keyword. So press the mouse right button. So size of keyword. So return the size in bytes of the given expression or type. So if you give in our program we are giving a of integer type. So, okay, so you can also give any expression. So it returns the number of the size and means the number of bytes reserved for that particular keyword or variable or expression. Okay, now so you may go with the help. So here click on that index. So here you can find several help menu for what is hash include. So you can hit this. So this treats text in the file specified by the file name as if it appears in the current file. So hash include file name or hash include file name. So you can use any one of these, both are same. So we are using this last one. So if you want, you can use this one also, hash include space double quotes file name stdio.h, then double quotes close. Okay, so in this way you can use. So here it is showing with an example. Okay, so now right? So now I am compiling the program, getting 0 errors. Now I am try to remove this one, and again I am compiling the program, so getting error. Okay, so C++ always I am choosing, or CPP extension, both are same, but still we are getting this error, right? Okay, so right, so if you get this error, just simply insert hash include stdio.h. Okay, so that's all. This is about program compilation and execution. So we can so one thing you need to remember is, so if you want to execute the program line by line, so use this F7 functional key, right? With the help of F7 function key, you can execute the C program line by line. Okay, right. So thank you. If you have any kind of query, just ping me to kumarswamy.dapa@gmail.com, so that I can able to give the solution for your queries. Okay, thank you. So this is about today's session. So I am closing the session. Thank you.